Hey everyone, I'm Ksenia and I'm talking about books with an accent. By the way, folks, if my incomprehensible accent scares you, and to be honest, it scares me too, so there is a great option to turn off the sound and to turn on the subtitles. And then maybe you'll even enjoy what I want to tell you. And give me a like, maybe. So today I want to tell you about a crime fiction. This is Robert Galbraith's novel The Cuckoo's Calling. But now everyone knows that J.K. Rowling is hiding under that pseudonym. So, The Cuckoo's Calling is the first book in the series of novels about the giant detective Cormoran Strike and his assistant Robin Ellacott. The book takes place in the present day, the story takes place in the present day in London, so I immediately wanted to check how far Strike's office on Denmark Street is located on the most famous detective street, Baker Street. And it turned out to be a 40-minute walk. And as for me, the writer made herself several references in honor of Conan Doyle's characters. For example, Strike served in Afghanistan and he lost his leg there. And remember, Dr. Watson, his leg hurts when the weather changes, and this happens because he has a poorly healed wound in his leg received while he was in Afghanistan. Okay, so Strike is a retired military veteran, disabled, and at the beginning of the book he is going through a moment of crisis. He has been abandoned by his fiancée, he has no savings, his detective agency is dying, and he has no place to live except his office. And he's plump and he looks older than his age, and J.K. Rowling added a couple more unpleasant details, so she practically painted a portrait of a classic loser. And one Monday, Strike's temporary secretary comes to work for a week. This is Robin, his future unreplaceable assistant, but in future. And suddenly a client appears in his reception room. The client is unhappy with the way the police handled the investigation in his sister's suicide. His sister's name was Lula Landry, and she was a famous fashion model. And 3 months ago, at night, under strange circumstances, she fell from the balcony of her apartment. And here the author shows us that Cormoran Strike is more than sad conditions that overcome him, because he assumes that the police are right and he doesn't want really get paid for anything. So he almost abandons the case. But the client said he wants justice, and Strike changed his mind. And then we delve, together with Strike, we delve into the world of the rich and famous, as well as who's who, who hang around them and envy them. And we also cut circles around London. So the Cuckoo's Calling can be called a detective story as well as a travel guide. And in long digressions, we are told about Strike himself. So in this novel, the detective is not a main function. No, he is quite a personality. So the investigation runs its course. The author may blow smoke and keep us in suspense to the very end. And by the way, about suspense, here is a moment. This story, this novel is a maximum detective story, so there is no actual action. Okay, there is no actual action at all, only interviews with witnesses, the crime scene inspection, study of police reports. So the narrative unfolds slowly, but I even like this style and unhurried manner. And yes, the biggest uncertainty is if whether Cormoran will be able to get through Lula's next rich and famous body to talk to him. Yes. So what else? Honestly, I didn't guess who the killer was. But I have to say, when I read a crime fiction, I never look for a killer. I'm looking for gaps in the text. And let me get to the pros and cons. What did I like about the book? Immersion into the atmosphere, the author's style, tastefully described personality of main character, the emerging handsome duo of Strike and Robin, interesting plot. And what about cons? As for me, the book is not balanced. I think J.K. Rowling spends a lot of time on Cormoran's past and his relationships because she knows there are still 7 books to go. Readers have to love the main character, something like that. So we are told too much about the plot of a meticulous and honest detective, something like that. And one more moment, I don't like gaps in texts. And there is an expression in Russia, grand piano in the bushes. So it means that something appears exactly when it is needed. So this is an ability or an item that allows heroes to cope with a situation. And up to this point, there is no hint that it exists. Something like Deus ex machina, maybe. Okay, so when reading crime fiction, I usually do my own investigation. Yes, and you have watched my shorts, you know how it goes. So I sit with my nose into a book and a pile of papers. Okay, so I usually do my own investigation. What if the author, trying to confuse readers, has overplayed himself? Here, I cannot say that the author has overplayed herself, but there are some grand pianos in the bushes. There are some inaccuracies in the novel, and something in the plot happens by chance, and Strike in some places was not as meticulous as they say he is. So I don't like this. And one more moment, and it is a matter of taste, I know, I don't like the ending. I think there is too much drama in it. So this is roughly how things stand. But I asked my friends who were delighted with the series about Strike, and I asked them, what is it? And they say that in their opinion, the first book is the most unattractive book in the series, and the better, the further, and the last book is generally the best. So I'm confused. I don't know what to do. Is it worth continuing to read about Cormoran Strike any further? But I think if I continue, I will tell you about it. And that's all for today. See you. Bye.